feel quite hungry.
God be with you.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes. Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel. So instead, I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
Could we speak in private? I have some, issues with the monastery.
Really? Well, I'd love to talk about it, but we won't have privacy as long as Manfred here has his head permanently stuck up my arse. Get rid of him for me, please.
Good day to you. What do you need?
You're Manfred, the young lord's guardian?
Indeed I am. Why?
You must have a mighty thirst. Waiting here with him for days, just watching him get drunk, and not having a sip yourself.
There's no doubt I'd enjoy a drink. Heaven knows I deserve it. But if I dull my senses in the slightest, that rogue will surely get up to mischief.
So let's drink together. And if you start to feel unwell, I'll keep an eye on him. Like you said, you deserve some fun.
I can see you're a reliable lad. So what shall we have to drink? And while we're at it, why not have a little game?
I feel quite hungry.
We'll see.
Here you are. Good health.
Damn!
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Should I? Shouldn't I? No, I daren't.
Here you are. Good health.
Jesus, what do I have to do to get a drink here?
Now you.
Jeez, what do I have to do to get a drink here?
This'll be the one. That's it.
Pour me one.
This'll be the one. Cursed luck.
Ale for me. One beer.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Should I? Shouldn't I? No, I daren't.
My pleasure. Here. Here you are. Good health.
What's the hold up there?
That's it. What the hell's with these damn
Here
dice?
you are. And good health. Yeah. Give me a minute.
One ale, please.
Would you let us have a word in private for a moment?
I would not. If I'd put...
There's something I'd like to talk. Let's have a
Which way
drink.
you going?
A man after my own heart. No, my dear, dear lad, what a cross I have to bear. You know, after the
I'll have to
My
get something to
pleasure.
eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
There. Satisfied?
What is it?
Cheers.
Got it for you right here.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got
There.
too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the Lord of your feet.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The Lord of Bukova was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
Tankard here.
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to spend the rest of his days on his knees praying. Well, that's your problem. You can only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ. I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare-arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only...
That's all then.
What?
That's right.
Hey!
Look where you're going.
Are you serious? How are you?
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the purse.
Here you are.
Good luck, no matter what you plan on doing with those monks. Best be on your way now before Manfred finds out that he's been robbed.
And what are you going to do?
Get my things together and disappear. I want to be as far away as possible before that old man even knows I'm gone.
Jeez!
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
What of it? I'm here, aren't I?
Well, you're a bit bold, aren't you? Well, the brothers will soon knock that out of you. Well, we'll see. Can you read and write?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance.
never catch up. Damn it.
What the hell are you doing?
What are you doing here? You're playing truant from the monastery, aren't you?
A monk's got no business. Are you serious? What are you doing here? You're playing truant for the monastery, aren't you?
A monk's got no business at... What was that? Must be...
Can I take a look inside?
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the monastery... Is someone there? I must have imagined it.
Hey!
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Can I take a look at...
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the mon...
Aren't you meant to be in the monastery, lad?
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum, et vivam, et non expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione me.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
Being here in the monastery is my dream come true. Being a monk is so exciting.
Well, no one's ever said that before. I'm curious if you'll still be singing the same tune in a month's time.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite...
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go.
I could do with a bite to eat.
Remember... You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. If you aren't interested, I'm not going to force you.
Peace be with you,
I'll leave you to your own devices.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. It was hard.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to...
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Listen, brother. Is there anyone in the monastery who can help me get hold of something, well, something that's not so readily available?
Oh, yes? And what sort of thing are you talking about exactly? Forget about it, brother, and focus on prayer and work.
I'd like to know...
I don't...
Tell me about Antonio.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him. I've never asked about him.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life...
I'm a novice, and...
You see, I'm looking for someone here.
You're looking for someone? But you're a novice, aren't you?
I am a novice. At least until I find the man I'm looking for.
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't valid here. In the cloister, we're subject to divine law, the law of the church.
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the monastery. He had a hand in raising the Neuhof farm. He's taken many lives.
I heard something about that. But why are you telling me all this?
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other novices.
That can't be. Have you told the prior? What are you going to do to this man once you find him?
I don't know yet.
It won't be easy to drag this criminal away from the protection of the cloister.
Do you have any idea which of the novices could be the impostor I'm looking for?
I don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish you'd never told me. Now I won't be able to sleep at night.
I'd like to ask you something about... What are the roles?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else... But it's the circators you should worry about. They could be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duty.
Well, that's all.
In a rush to pay more attention, brother?
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
I'm interested in the Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy.
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circators who make the rounds despise him.
Listen, there's something I ought to tell you. There's a dangerous criminal hiding in the monastery, and I came here to look for him.
Ha! I knew it! He's a villain. Who are you, though? Oh, it's better not to ask, isn't it? It's always safer not to ask.
Never mind that. Who's a villain?
That's Siskin. I always thought he was an odd one, the way he carries on. But now it makes perfect sense. He's a criminal fleeing justice.
What are you talking about? You clearly know something I don't.
I'm telling you, keep your eye on him. He's no monk. That's what my gut tells me. And my gut's never wrong. What are you going to do to that fellow once you find him?
That's not your concern.
You should talk to the circators or the prior about it, not act on your own.
Or maybe you're the one I'm looking for.
Me? A criminal? Look at me. How could I be? No, my friend, you're accusing the wrong man.
No, I'm sure of it. It's you. A cowardly, filthy rat. A nasty, spineless piece of shit.
No, I never. It was Siskin. It's him you want, not me. Leave me alone. I never done you any harm.
Slow down. In a rush to pray? Pay more attention. Slow down, brother.
Why such haste?
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
I've heard some unsettling news. I've been told you've lied about who you are the entire time you've been here. What do you have to say about it? Who are you really?
I don't have anything to say. If I'm not me, then you're not you. And that must mean we aren't talking together now.
Enough of that nonsense. Tell me who you are and what you're looking for here.
I'm Carl, or I was, and I was ordered here by my father. What do you mean looking for? I've no idea what you're talking about.
I can find out whether you really are the Carl we accepted here. If you are, no need to worry. All accusations against you will be withdrawn. But until I find out, you'll have to be isolated from the others.
While I was locked up, someone was making quite a racket in the cellar. Blind drunk, I'm sure of it. I wonder what's been going on.
Damn it, I'm hungry. I'm Gregor, and I'm new.
I know. I saw you in the church during the ceremony. I have a feeling we'll be
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and
when it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You've everything you need here.
What do you desire, bro?
Slow down, brother.
Why such haste? Pay more attention, brother. What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Listen, brother. Is there a...
If you're looking to get into
I'd like to ask you something.
Watch your step. Pay more attention, brother.
Watch it. I'm Gregor, and not...
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nevlis, and I'm the provost.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Is there anything I could help?
You know, there is. Perhaps you've heard that I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I...
You can count on my help. What do you need me to do?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve... The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the Libri Prohibiti, the forbidden books. Though...
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but no one will notice if one book disappears. But if more were to vanish, someone would certainly...
Is there anything you...
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't...
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go... They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and we'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
I'd like to ask you something. Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
7 centuries ago, Saint Benedict of Nursia wrote, the fundamental precepts are obedience, work...
Do you never want to know what's going on?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue and the grass...
What are the roles?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circuitors. They're the ones who may...
Listen, brother.
Supposing, of course, just hypothetically, you wanted to get something like that, I'd turn to Why such haste?
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a pun?
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my...
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
We each have a part of ourselves that we want to keep private. I won't pry into your affairs, and you don't pry into mine.
It's just that...
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with, of course, the exception of mine.
I'm interested in your...
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't...
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got...
What can you tell me about Luca?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many...
That's all. I'd like to... Are there any...
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here.
Tell me something about it.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion...
Well, that's all.
Mother of God, what are you doing, you wretch?
I've already given my boy a thrashing over this, but once I get my hands on the fiend with whom he cooked up this asinine plan, I will wring his goddamn fucking neck!
Calm down, my lord. You're in a monastery.
The insolence! Help him flee and then pretend to be him?
It's certainly an unfortunate incident, but there's no need for such agitation or profanity. We will take care of it. Ah, that's him! Stop him!
Now I've got you, you bastard!
Fucking come on then!
Yeah, all right. Get the hell out of here. Go, quick, before I change my mind. Finger.
What are you looking for? No one's allowed.
Gotcha! Now,
what?
Don't play the innocent, you cripples. Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll...
Just my luck. Look, I can't tell you anymore.
You think I'm...
If I kill someone...
Hey! Hold!
You then!
Move!
Hey! You!
Surrender!
Move a muscle!
I'll wring your neck!
Bring it up!
Got you! And now I'll fix you good and proper. You...
What?
Don't play games with me. I know full well about the assaults you committed. Your victims remember... Personally...
I won't put up with any...
You!
Surrender! You'll have to...
Jesus, look where you're going.
Strange feeling, but...
Everything's prepared.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone...
I haven't quite got my bearings yet.
Very well. I'll leave you alone for now. But don't...
Let's go then.
Good. But make sure to read it this evening. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything. Remember one word. Discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs.
I could do with a bite to eat.
God be with you.
Salve.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Someone's been creeping around in the corridor.
Something is going to happen out there.
What am I saying?
We might be wrong.
In a rush to pray?
Like a bear. God will be
It must have been Brother Cicada. He can't sleep.
This is
Prays
the
far
garden,
into the night.
a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work.
As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the cicatas, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The Rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts...
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You, too, will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's... Slow down, brother.
But they'll learn. We were no different.
Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating. They say he won't.
I'm
make it
Gregor,
to the altar.
a novice.
No,
I saw you at the ceremony.
Peter has a
I
strong
know.
constitution.
It was hard
He'll
not
still
to
be on
notice
this
you.
earth for many
And you
years to
are?
come.
I wish all good
Lucas,
health upon him.
also a novice.
But I won't
Don't
change
get
and
upset,
only
but
a
I
new
don't
abbot
want to
can
talk to
bring
you.
that.
I'm happiest
Waiting
alone.
pays off. There's no hurry.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing.
I mean, where you're from? What sort of...
I'm a novice.
You see,
You're looking?
I am a novice. At least in...
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't that...
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the...
I heard some...
Because you could help me.
That can't be. Have you told the
Talk to him. Do you have any idea which of the novices could...
I don't know, and I don't care to know.
My name's Gregor.
You can call me Siskin.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him.
That's all. Will you...
Look, nothing...
Are you hiding something?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
Things will get worse. I can fit it in my joints.
They must have realized you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my brothers, my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
But you didn't have to come here.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
That's all I want.
Please, keep it to yourself. Especially the part about...
There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him.
What's he doing here?
They call him pious because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, they sent me here to find him and bring him to justice.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it.
day's food. What do they do in that kitchen? I'll bet they keep the tastiest morsels for themselves.
I won't tell you more, and I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
And the wine. Those were the days.
You'll see. Things will get
Would you do
better
that?
than you
I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it. How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayer?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face.
I'm still curious.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean...
Peter has a strong constitution. He'll still be on this earth for many years to come.
I wish all good health upon
I'll leave you be.
but I want change.
Don't worry.
And
I won't follow you again.
Thank you.
Wait till
And
pays
please,
off.
Gregor,
There's no hurry.
don't mention it to anyone.
Slow down,
Pay more
brother.
attention, brother.
Slow down, brother.
Pay more attention. In a rush to pray.
My joints started aching just before they raised scallops, and now they hurt again, but worse than last time.
He was stomping about like a bear.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Brother? I wasn't born yesterday. This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
The food's definitely gone downhill. I remember back when we ate like kings.
Ah, Gregor.
And the wine. Those were the days.
You'll see.
Will you tell me something?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of...
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a...
I'll be in... What can you tell me about Sis?
That there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic...
You don't know young...
I've heard things. Siskin must have been...
That's all I wanted to know about him. What... You don't... Why is he in the...
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from...
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all?
Why is he in...
No.
That's all.
Pay more attention.
Aha, Gregor. Talk to me.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I need to get hold of some kind of weapon.
In a rush to pray?
Well, I can't help you with that. And besides, what use would a weapon...
I need to get some...
You're not the only one. But I have to keep records of all the casks, and the prior checks on them. He'd notice any lost...
I'm looking for
lock picks.
What's it to you? Do you have some or not?
Peace, brother. There's no need to get all worked up. So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it. Tough luck. Talk to me, brother.
Is there anything I can...
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing. But not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled up in a hole.
Ovid?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of them. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his...
Good. I'll look...
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find...
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere.
In a rush to pray,
What's the meaning of this? Have you been possessed by an evil spirit?
why such haste? Why such... What's your step, brother?
Why such haste?
Have you spoken to Yodok?
In a rush to pray?
In a rush to pray?
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps in temp.
I'm interested in...
Nobody knows much about Lucas.
Do you have any grounds?
Quite a lot. And also none at all.
Can you
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a land.
Why did you join the...
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's...
Service?
I'm Gregor.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all.
Is there anything...
You know, there is. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment.
You can count on my help.
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library. But it will certainly be among...
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. They say Brother Solarius understands locks. We'll soon have the election of the...
What is it, brother?
I'd like to ask... Well, that's all.
Pay more attention, brother.
I'm a new brother, a novice.
Welcome amongst us. Yes, yes. The Lord wanted me. How do you like it here?
It's wonderful here.
I'm glad to hear it. May your enthusiasm...
I'd like to ask...
Slow down, brother.
In a rush to pray?
Such an instant,
Stealing is a sin. You should know that as a Christian, and certainly as a monk. Even if I wanted to forgive you, I couldn't. Thou shalt not steal.
Very well, brother. I accept my punishment.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that's not allowed in the monastery.
While I was locked up, someone was making quite a racket in the cellar. Blind drunk, I'm sure of it. I wonder what's been going on.
Pay more attention, bro. Slow down, brother. Watch your step. Slow down, brother.
In a rush to pray. Slow down, my son.
Why such haste?
Why such haste?
This is not a good time for questions.
Pay more attention, brother.
Watch your step, brother.
Why such haste?
Why such... Watch your step, brother. Watch your step, brother.
In a rush to... Why such haste?
As follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since this spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, for speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent.
Slow down, brother.
Halt! Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
You're right, brother.
This is your first warning.
Slow down, brother. Pay more attention, brother.
What would you like?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. Today's task, 2 cockerel potion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. What do you do?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Brother, brother, what will become of you? What would you like?
I'd like to ask... Tell me about...
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure... But in reality, I spend all my... Pay more attention, brother.
Peace be with you, brother.
Why such haste? What do you desire?
Salve Domine.
Why such haste?
Ah, Gregor.
I've heard about Avicenna's book of...
Who told you about that?
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than... Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original.
In a rush to pray?
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
What's inside? Forbidden books. Forget about them.
Why such haste? Pay more. I can hardly believe it. Could.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
Why such haste?
Watch your step, brother.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
What do you desire?
I found a few pages of...
Wonderful. Keep looking then. I'm sure you can find the rest.
I've heard there are some forbidden books locked up.
That's correct. They're here.
What if I just want...
You could not. They are libri prohibiti, and the only people permit...
Not even if I were to beg? Or promise a favour in return?
If you could prove to me that you truly like books, then maybe.
Could a book be prohibited by mistake? Maybe a good book or a useful one?
No errors are made.
How does a book get...
Forbidden works are full of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft.
I don't need to hear anything else. I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Halt. Brother. Brother Nevlis says that you didn't finish your work in the herb room. Have you lost your taste for honest labor?
You're right, brother.
This is your second warning. Do it again and you will be punished. Pay more attention.
And a rush to pray.
Why such hate?
In a rush to pray?
Slow down, brother.
Why such haste?
Pay more attention. Watch your step.
Pay more attention. Why such haste?
Was humble and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain from speech.
What would you like?
Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to For that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on daily manual labor, idle.
And it's not the first time.
After the sixth hour, having left the table, rest on their beds.
So wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning.
Anyone may
Then he'd soon get his manners right.
read to himself in such
In a
a
rush
way
to pray.
as not to
Slow.
disturb
Slow.
anyone else.
In a rush to pray.
down, brother.
Slow down, brother.
Slow down. Pay more attention, brother.
Watch your step, brother.
Watch your step, brother.
And I rush to pray. Pay more attention, brother.
In a rush to pray.
fresh young novices, our swift steeds, and our boundless sellers.
You and your novices, you old pervert. A toad.
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You won't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
All right. I wouldn't mind some wine.
That's more like it. Sit down and have a drink, my lad. Quite right, brother. Just sit down and drink with us. When the wine runs out, Yorick will fetch more. What would you like?
What are you doing here?
What does it look like?
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
Why not? I've had enough opprobria and obedientia for one day.
That's what we like to hear.
Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Abbot John.
That's more like it.
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are, but this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty, and we need a new one.
I'll help you. What do
Ha! I knew it. Help novice Yodok arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning.
All right, I'll talk.
What is it, bro?
Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is.
To Abbot John.
That's more.
Let's play.
Just the man we've been waiting. What's there left to drink to?
To our fresh young novices, our...
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the
What is it, brother?
Brother, I've a favour to ask.
I see. So it's the...
Well, yes.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off. The prior
Could you...
rob the prior?
You wouldn't be doing...
Then what could you possibly pay me?
How much would you want?
A princely sum, brother. This is no trifling matter.
That much? Where am I?
Precisely.
I'm looking for...
And what?
I'm looking for...
Lock pick?
What's it to you?
Peace, brother. So you heard I'll trade them for...